Magic the Gathering right now is going nuts because it's blowing up for Mattel. I'm talking about big projects moving forward. So the idea is right now they're going to start out Legendary and Hasbro Entertainment are teaming up to create a live-action film and the television universe, they're calling this, based on Magic the Gathering, the trading card game, everybody. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. And it's Hasbro's first billion-dollar brand. The very first project to emerge in this deal will be the film. They'll do a film version, and then once the film version is done, they're going to branch off and they're going to actually do the television show after all that. It's very exciting to see like what will actually happen with that because again, that's a lot of content. And there's a big fan base for this as well. I'm talking about developing an expansion universe here. First created in 1993, Magic the Gathering recognized as the world's first trading card game. And it connected so many people. They're talking about connecting 50 million fans, they're saying, as they're making this announcement across the globe, having planeswalkers and powerful spellcasters and summon creatures and cast spells and all of that, everybody. And it's really fantastic, though. If you're a fan of this, you're probably super excited about this. I bet you are. But let's go to the panel and find out, because I never played Magic the Gathering. I'm not going to lie. I never played Magic the Gathering. I never even played D&D before. I know, yell at me, get mad at me. I wish I did, but never have. Maybe I still can do that someday. But maybe there's people out here that are excited about this, but let's find out, guys. Let's find out. So Magic the Gathering, movie, universe, there's a lot happening. Who's super excited? See Laura's face right now.
I'm so excited. Guys, I am a huge game nerd. People don't even know this. Like, first of all, I grew up on video games. I was born into like Atari land and then like grew up on like video games. And my family is huge on like board games. I love competition games and I love Magic. If you guys haven't played it, like these characters are rich. There's all these special abilities and magic spells. And like, it is so fun to play. I don't know when it came out, but I know I was playing it maybe like high school, college, and like it's a rich universe that like why aren't we doing this anyways? Like it should be explored. Is anyone else here like a nerdy gamer like me and knows about Magic the Gathering, or is it just me solo on this? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's me too.
Spencer too?
Yeah.
Thank God.
And he taught me. I played Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh! I played a handful. Sorry.
Did you have
yeah.
And Pogs?
I had Pogs, guys. I had Slammers and Pogs and all that. I had a dragon one.
I think of when I think of Magic the Gathering.
Spencer, what do you think, though? It's like we're talking about like a whole universe. We're talking about TV shows, movies, expansion. There'll probably be a cartoon coming. There'll probably be a lot of stuff they're going to announce. Get ready for all of it. Are you ready for all of it? And do you think that the world's ready for it?
Yeah, I think there's room. I don't know if you guys saw the Warcraft movie, but I thought that was kind of cool. So, I don't know. I think there's I didn't love... I mean, like the old D&D movie. I don't know if you guys have seen that, Dungeons and Dragons, the old movie with Marlon Wayans.
Was not game-based. It was not like...
No, I don't think it was.
No.
But it had the same logos and stuff. So I think a lot of the characters and stuff were derived from like lore in the actual game.
Yeah,
but,
it was licensed. Followed like a D&D, because like D&D has like storylines, and like it didn't. They just
I don't think it had anything to do with any of that.
Dragons,
Thieves Guild and stuff like that, and I don't know. I loved that film. The new one it was fun. I thought it would touch base on a lot of things, but it wasn't. I didn't think as good as the old one. But I think there's room for this. I think there's definitely a lot of room for Magic the Gathering game or TV show. Or there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. There's He-Man coming out. There's a lot of universes I think we can explore here. So
the Masters of the Universe is coming, man. There's so many casting every day about that. Mm-hmm. Amazon again, and that kid's trying to get bigger for it. He keeps saying, "I'm trying to get bigger." I got like He-Man.
I saw photos, and he looks bigger.
Did he?
Yeah, he's got longer blonde hair now. I'm like, yeah, I see it. He's got a real square jaw. I'm like, yeah, sign me up, dude. Hell yeah.
Do you think those? Can I jump in and field a comment from Angel?
Yeah, what Angel say?
He was like, "Oh, this is or she. I don't know, Angel. Sorry, I don't know if you're he or she. And also, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking earlier. There was a comment that was like a movie based on a card game. Like this shouldn't be done or something. I have to explain that like Magic the Gathering is so much more than a card game. It is like D&D based. There is actual like stats and like if you get into it, like the abilities and the diversity of character, it's a whole world that's built around this game. And like, I feel like we are seeing things like Fallout. We've seen Resident Evil in the past. The Last of Us has been smashing success in some ways, not for everybody, but for some
I'm
people.
a dude, Angel says. Yeah, Angel. That's great.
Thanks, Angel. I just didn't want to call you the wrong thing. I'm glad I assumed the right thing. Bad on me for assuming, you know what they say. But I'm just saying, like, this is so much deeper than just like a card game. It's been around for decades, and there is the same kind of depth that's built to it as to like D&D or a video game. You can build worlds within a board game or card game capacity the same way you can in a script or in a video game. It's just we're putting words to these characters and personalities are created, and all storytelling is based on character creation first, you know, and then circumstances, putting those characters in circumstances. So plenty of room to do a series on this IMO.
Spencer, what do you feel about that? You think that's true?
I agree with all that.
Thanks.
Casting, is there any characters you guys can think about that you bring somebody in for? Can Chalamet fit in here somewhere? That's the question, right? Can Chalamet get in here somewhere?
You're
everywhere, all the time.
Chalamet and Grande will both be in it, Brent.
I'll take Grande. I'll take Grande all day. Chalamet, say nay.
Yeah. I don't see him being in it personally, but
I'm not trying to hate on Chalamet all day, but Pepe gets fired up too. It freaks us out. Trevor, what do you think about this, man? I know you said you're into this too as well. Do you think there's definitely a massive universe for this, or is this going to be like, because Dungeons and Dragons, it did okay. They're doing a sequel to it, but it still didn't blow it out of the box office. I thought it was all right. I agree with what Spencer said. The first one I think was better. The original one, the OG one, that was fun. Can this be that, though? Can this capture that magic and be a new generational content that people are going to love it that much? You have a universe?
I mean, I think that it can. I think Magic is like bigger now than it ever was, honestly. Like, you know, I saw someone in the comments said, like, is Magic still a thing? Like, oh, yes. Like, It's so much bigger than it ever was. I played Magic from like 97 to like 2002. So I've been out of it for a long time. But like, even back then, like the storylines and the characters that they had, like, yeah, they definitely like could have done it even back then. And now with another 20, 25 years of development on this whole universe, absolutely. But also, I'm going to, as usual, I'm going to be the one that disagrees with you two. I thought the old Dungeons and Dragons movie was bad and the new one was fun. But I didn't know they were doing a sequel, though. I didn't think it had done well enough. I didn't think I was going to go forward. So I'm learning that right now, and I'm very happy about it. But as far as like this whole like expanded like cinematic universe for Magic and stuff goes, I'm gonna say the same thing I say every time when this comes up, because like I feel like all these big corporations keep announcing like, oh, we're gonna do this huge cinematic universe, and it's like, can you just do one movie? Start with one movie, do the best one movie that you can, and if it does well, if it turns out really well, and if it does well, then do a second movie, and if that does well, then start working on your spin-offs. Like, Marvel didn't start with the Avengers, they started with Iron Man, and like everyone who's tried to repeat Marvel's success since seems to forget that. Like, Iron Man was fucking nobody in 2008. Like, that was an obscure character that only like super nerds knew about, and now he's like the household name, like as big as Superman. So it's like just remember The Mummy with Tom Cruise. Remember the Dark Universe. They announced like a shitload of movies that were coming out of that. They built all their cameos into the first movie, and they fell so hard on their faces in the first go. It's just like, focus on making one good movie first. Give me one really good Magic movie.
It's in the writing, because movies and TV shows and everything have been written on less. So it's really like, does this person, I mean, that last graphic you had up, Brian, with all the cards and like that's, if you put that in front of me, I could probably write a short form story. Like, I think it had a line at the top, and then there were like all these layers. Like, just the images alone that they produced for this. I think people also don't understand, like, there's stats for these characters. Yeah, there you go. You have like stats with like, I don't know how nerdy you all get, but like RPGs, role-playing games, you have stats, things like wisdom and power and whatever, and like whatever those numbers are reflect how good that character is at that thing. So like the character backstory is already kind of there, the personalities are already kind of there, and you're just writing into this world. So it's all writer dependent. Like, it's all, can you take the world and expand it and turn a good driven story out from this imagery? Because I feel like I could. I don't know. Can you guys write a story about what you see in front of you?
I feel like it's so open. You could probably do a lot of things with this, right? I mean, the fantasy world where you can get into it. I just think that like you're going into a world that is very open, like you're saying. There's a lot of characters, a lot of things you can pull from, but also it's like this fantastical world has got to be fun. There's got to be some fun stuff. That's what even Dungeons & Dragons. I remember that song that came out. I want to cast Magic Missile. I remember that song came out. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Maybe not. But when that came, GR, it was like Dungeons and Dragons, Satan's game, and it was like this whole thing. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. That's how it started, and there's two guys. There's a bunch of guys playing D&D, and he's like, "I'm attacking the darkness," and they're like, "You can't attack the darkness." "Yes, I can. I'm going to cast Magic Missile on you." But I hear, I know it's very obscure, but I think about that and say it's fun. There's a fun world here, and I think there's an untapped resource in Magic the Gathering. I mean, GR used to play it back in what year, GR?
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I remember, like, my older brother played it a lot, and I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I think at the time, and he was like, "Let me show you an adult card game for cool people," you know. And then, like, I remember sitting down and like looking at. Not only was the game a little bit, more complex, because it was for adults, but every card had a like description and like a backstory kind of to you're like, oh, if you want to dig deeper, this is the life of this character on this card, and it's like, what the, like, who took the time to do all this work?
But they made like a best-selling game. These people are like super rich now because like they did create like a whole world mystery. Look at behind us, you guys. Look at all these like amazing characters, and like, you want to see these people on screen? I mean, I do. That last card that was behind Spencer, like, I want to see floating balls and turning pages, and I love it. Maybe I'm just a Magic nerd. I don't know.
It's also fun because it is like all imagination. People have like imagined these characters for a long time. You're playing, you're following the instructions, you're getting there, and I think that's fun that now we get to see them come to life. But this cinematic universe, GR, is this for a younger generation or an older generation? Where do you feel? Is this going to work, GR? Do you have any aspirations to see this?
No.
Oh no, GR, come on! Some magic and some like. Look at that guy. Look at his cape. Look at his glow eyes.
I'm not saying it's gonna be bad. I'm just saying it's not my cup of tea. I don't play video games. Never did. But
come on, GR. This is your bedroom, GR. This is your bedroom. Don't lie to us.
Yeah, right. Actually, Brian, my bedroom's right there. My bed's as messy as somebody else's was before they put a blanket over it.
Come on, friends.
I didn't name anybody. I just said somebody.
You gotta watch out. He's
jump all this stuff on the floor. There's nothing going on in
I believe you.
Anyways,
sort of a little bit.
Come on, GR. We're talking about TV shows, movies. This is an untapped IP. Don't you see this working somehow?
I'm not saying it's going to fail. I didn't say that at all, Brian. It's just not my. The game is not my cup of tea.
Tell me more.
I've never played a video game.
This is
I will show you how to play video games. You can come to my house. We'll get the Nintendo out. We'll start.
Let's do this.
Yeah, come on.
I actually owned one when I bought it for my son.
I just posted.
But it doesn't mean I played it.
Mega Man 3 on the Nintendo.
Come on, GR. One day. But
all day marathon. GR's gonna come to my house. We're gonna start at Atari and we're gonna go all the way through to like PS5. It's gonna be great.
There we go.
I had an Atari before you were born, girl.
I love the Atari. The Atari is so cool. It's just that I love the 64 too, but the hand controller. I needed we need a 3-hand type deal.
I get the Pong reference there, girl. I saw that.
I could really go for a nice massage.
Laura was trying to be subtle, with the Pong.
I'm the Pong.
Trevor, do you see this? So is this too much though, Trevor? TV shows, movies, all this? Is that too much? Or is that, like a nerd's wet dream right now?
Oh, I mean, this is absolutely like nerd's wet dream, like 100%. You hit the nail on the head there. I just think that they really need to like focus on one thing first before they branch off. But like, if they do it well, like this could definitely be like the next Lord of the Rings, the next Game of Thrones. Like it's in that vein. Like I think if you can find that audience, like even if they don't know the game, they will appreciate these stories. So yeah, it's totally possible. It's totally achievable. I just want them to make one good thing just make the best thing that you can, please. I just want it to be really good. I just want it
Spencer,
to be good.
Do you think it's going to be the Lord of the Rings, Spencer? The next Lord of the Rings?
Brian, don't insult me.
Hey, man. Hey,
No.
Come on.
No, I don't. I do think,
I like this guy. This guy.
It's going to have a, pretty extensive world behind it, but Lord of the Rings, man, come on. That's
what do you think, Trevor? He's battling you now.
It's sacred. That's sacred territory. Watch your mouth, Brian. We respect
I want the battle of the magic right now. I want to cast magic missile on someone right now. I don't know. That's D&D.
You know how to cast in magic? Do you even know how to do that, Brian? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'll let you judge for yourself.
Okay, Pepe. But after GR gets his card games off his bed and he clears them off and he gets back to being serious, hopefully this movie does well. I really hope it does do great, because I think that what they tried for D&D, I think it worked. They're going to do more. They're going to try, but I think it missed the mark in the movie. I still think it missed a little bit. I like that they did with like Chris Pine. I think Chris Pine does a good job, but like, I don't know what I wanted from that movie, though. I still know what I wanted. And this is going to be something like that, too. Like, it's our imaginations for a long time. I think that's hard to please a fan base when it's all imaginations. That's the problem. And I think there's going to be people that expect these certain things that are not going to get it. It's always like, we shoot for the moon and we're never going to get that close, guys. We just can't. But I do hope that if they make the cinematic universe work and they plan and they structure it and they have an outline for it, then hopefully they can actually make fans happy about this. Because I think it's a big thing for fans. I won't make it a topic, but I didn't think it was. I think this really is something that people could fall in love with and be excited about. And it keeps coming back. But it just depends. Again, like Laura said, it's the writing. It all comes down to the writing, though, too.
All the writing, which is what I've been thinking this whole time. It's, because it's a card game, right? So you're playing these characters and there are really distinct things. Again, you're getting those like gauges to tell you about their personality traits, and you have hit points and you have like things to give you an idea of where this person is. But like the actual backstory, the actual writing is so open and there's so much that you can do. You have to hire really, really good writers. Someone should call somebody for that. I don't even know who. I was going to say A24 and I'm like, no, it'll be off the wall and crazy. I have no idea.
I mean, Mattel, maybe they'll get like, they're not doing Transformers really anymore. There was a whole thing since Transformers 1 didn't do well. They're like kind of taking a back burner on that too, which that G.I. Joe Transformers movie, I thought would be fucking great. Why don't we start with G.I. Joe and Transformers, You know about that, Spencer, right?
Well, G.I. Joe is all of them have sucked.
I was like,
I mean, why wasn't the first one they had that special ops team already in the first one? Why was that not just G.I. Joe? I mean, it pretty much was already. Why not just give them the name Yo Joe? You know what I mean? Go Joe, wherever they used to go Joe.
I think they just tapped it too much. You know what I mean? They just kept trying to tap everything they could out of it, and they just kind of killed the fan base, at least for movies. That original movie came out when they had those mech suits. That was like basically before Iron Man came out, I think. Everybody was like, this is awesome. I think it had Marlon Wayans as well and Channing Tatum. And I think everybody was like, this is great. And then it just went too far. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I don't know. I wasn't too excited for the new Shia LaBeouf, Megan Fox one either.
No.
I feel like that first Transformers was okay. It was a revival. It was like a blast from the past. We got to see it in a new format. I like Shia LaBeouf, so like I don't know. I think I'm an outlier in that. Like I don't know. I think the kid was talented.
I liked him in the original ones, but I think he's a little.
The problem is when you like take a series like that and you milk it for all it's worth and you start making these like insane storylines and stuff that like people don't care about. I'm like, why were all the movies like 3.5 hours long? Can anyone stick? You know what kind of movies I like? An hour and a half. That's about like I think our like I don't know. The immediate attention span is a minute and a half. Can we make the movies an hour and a half? Because
that's what they used to be.
I know. That's why I like old movies and old TV shows. I like TV shows too.
That's why she likes old people like us.
That's right, JR. I'm your biggest fan. You're just
right. I love you, but you lie like a rug.
And Angel, that's supposed to be the next Transformers movie. It wasn't just my idea. The idea was if you saw the last Transformers movie, they actually had the whole crossover where they try to initiate them into the actual G.I. Joe. That was like a whole thing. And it was like, we're going to tie them together. And they had this whole big idea of G.I. Joe, Transformers, next big franchise. But then like the last couple movies, like the Rise of the Beast didn't do well. And then Transformers 1 was a lot of fun, guys. I actually was very skeptical about that movie. It was fun, and it bombed. So it's like they're like, well, Mattel's like,
people need to like go back and watch the shows that were on when we were kids. I was born in '86. Now you guys all know how old I am.
Oh God!
I have an older brother that's 5 years older than me. Stop, everybody!
Right now, pal.
I'm so exposed tonight. I showed my messy bedroom. I'm telling everyone how old I am. My brother's 5 years older than me, so I did grow up with like his friends, and we did all the G.I. Joe, He-Man, all those shows we used to watch. And I feel like everyone that's trying to remake these, they actually haven't gone back and looked at the source material because it's simple. The storytelling back then is so simple, and now we're like, we gotta add so much, and like we gotta have spaceships.
What is this trash?
Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need it. Go back and watch the original series, and you're going to come up with a much better plot line. Make it a simple hour-and-a-half movie, and I'm going to be happy. It's freaking Transformers, not...
What you gonna do?
7 years a slave or something.
7 years of Transformers. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Who cares?
I know, Pepe. But Magic the Gathering is coming. And if you're excited about it, please let us know because it's a big franchise, and I think GR is shaking his head now, but maybe in the future he'll be shaking it like this instead, right, GR? Maybe.
Well, if they write me a part, I'll be there.
I'll buy you a ticket. Will you come to be my date? You can be my date to Magic the Gathering.
Man, oh man,
I may be used to pride, but I'm not stupid enough to turn down a date with a pretty woman.
All right, guys. We'll take some like video.
Who wants to go see this with me? Come on, somebody. Who wants to go? I'll treat.
Oh, Pepe's in a treat.
Ahead.
We're going. Anyways. I'm taking you, GR. This movie comes out.
Okay, honey.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.